Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, I think all of us are on a similar journey. We're trying to make a difference on the planet, trying to leave it a better place than before we were born. And you're going to hear from the host of the World Changers podcast next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I think all of us get to the top of the little hill or mountain we're climbing, and we wonder, is this all there is? And that's what happened with my news career. I did a lot of cool things in news, but then I just got to the age of 45, and I said, am I really making a difference on the planet the way I want to? My next guest knows that very well because she's the host of the World Changers podcast, Arinn Lovett. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Well, I want people to know your heart. So you're an ag girl, right? Where were you born and raised?
Yes, so I'm born and raised in Portales, New Mexico, so eastern New Mexico. I'm 6th generation farmer rancher, so agriculture has my heart. And if I'm going to be really honest, I thought agriculture would be what I'd be doing right now.
Yes. Okay, so how did you, I know I met you through Ray Trevino, another one of our podcasters, and now you have your own show. So before we show this clip, I want you to talk about the 4 pillars.
The 4 pillars, to me, that keep the world going round would be agriculture, entrepreneurship, spirituality, and politics. And so that's what I based World Changers to be on, is those 4 pillars and the people who are really with boots on the ground making World Changers.
And I love it, and she just recorded her 2nd episode. Let's show a little bit of episode number 1.
Welcome to World Changers, the podcast where we dive deep into the stories of those who are making a difference one step at a time. From entrepreneurs to activists, scientists to spiritual leaders, we explore the journeys of individuals who are shaping our world for the better. Join us as we uncover the inspiration, challenges, and triumphs behind their remarkable contributions. Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and empowered to change the world. This is World Changers. Thank you for tuning in to watch World Changers. Today I have Dr. Brian Haynes. He has successfully owned and operated one of the biggest health and wellness chiropractor centers in Dallas-Fort Worth for 10 years now. He graduated from Illinois College in 2009 and Logan University in 2013. Dr. Brian then went on to receive additional training and certifications in spinal correction, detoxification, nutrition, and exercise before opening his own clinic in 2014. Dr. Brian has helped thousands of local residents get their health back on track with testimonies ranging from relief of severe back pain, migraines, infertility issues, weight loss, ear infections, autoimmune diseases, and so much more. He's made no claim to curing any of these, though. He simply helps the patient's body to restore natural health and healing the way that God intended. Thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, glad to be here.
So I have been going to your clinic now for a year and a half, and I just think you're one of the smartest men I've ever met. when it comes to health, and I'm serious. Not just chiropractic. I've gone to chiropractic for a long time, but you're just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to overall health. And what inspires me to get to know you more and to bring you on the show is the fact that you're not the kind of chiropractor that's like, always get adjusted, you just get all your problems, which is important, but you're focusing on the nervous system and your gut health and everything that makes health. And there's a lot of factors in on that. And so that's kind of what I want to touch base on today and let all the viewers know that.
Yeah, well, thank you for your kind words, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, health is, I say all the time, health isn't complicated. It's actually very simple to be well. It doesn't mean it's easy, but it's not complicated. Mm-hmm. And so you're well aware, in our office, we kind of have these, what we call the 5 essentials, these categories of things, and really everything that could possibly affect our health kind of fits into one of those categories in one way or another. And if we just learn to tackle each of those areas step by step effectively, it's the body is designed to be well. Healthy, normal function, vitality, vibrance, energy, feeling good. These are all the norm. The problem is that we've see so much sickness and so much suffering and so much disease and pain that's become normal in people's perspective.
Well, Arinn, I want to compliment you because I did TV news for 25 years. You're a natural host. You're really, really talented. And I like it that you're curious about people. So where does that come from? Have you always been kind of curious about what makes people tick?
I always have, yes. In fact, I think that always really aggravated my parents and grandparents and growing up because it was always why? But why do you do it like this? And I always had another solution, like, well, why don't we do it this way and try it this way? And I remember on the farm, my grandpa would be like, because that's the way my dad did it and my granddad did it and my grand, so we do it that way. And I'm like, but it doesn't really make sense and it's not working. So I've just kind of always challenged everything. And I just feel like there's always another way.
Yes.
And why be closed-minded?
And I love that. In your generation, I'm part of the baby boomer generation, and my generation is that's the way it's always been done, and your generation is no. That's why Uber exists, disrupting taxi cabs. That's why, Airbnb disrupted hotels. Your generation, I think, is really changing the world, which brings us back to the name of your show and your website. Let's bring up her website, and as we scroll down the website, let's talk about Arinn and, you recently closed down your insurance company. So you reached a point in your life where you must have been questioning, is this what I was put on the planet to do?
Yes.
I'm sure that there was probably a bittersweet moment doing that, but do you feel more fulfilled that you're doubling down on, your faith is not a secret. Are you being led to do something really big?
Yes, I am. And I do feel that way. When I got into insurance, I'll make it real quick, I was 30 and I always worked for other people and helped build their businesses and then just kind of move on to the next thing. And I just felt like I'm tired of working for other people and giving 150% of myself and only feeling, like I'm getting 2% back, so to say. So I just felt I'm fully capable of starting something on my own. I didn't know what that'd be. If you want to be honest, how I came across insurance, I Googled what's a business I can do to be self-employed and I don't have a lot of overhead. Insurance came up. I didn't know anything about insurance. Right. But I thought I'm really smart. I pivot really well. If this doesn't work, okay, it's just me. Like I don't have a lot of anyone else to worry about. So I dove into insurance and I was really good at it. And I built a very strong agency and it was all by referrals only, 100% of it all referrals within 3 years. And I just thought, I just felt like God's like, okay, we're done with this. We're going on to the next thing. And it's been really interesting, Jeff. He's kind of dropped in the opportunity to start writing books. I'm about to have, by the end of the year, I'll have 3 books that I've published this year alone. And then I'm moving on to children's books and this.
Okay, well, tell me about the books. This is new. I mean, did God put these books on your heart?
Yes and no. So a decade ago, he put on a topic I needed to write about, and I didn't want to because it was fully vulnerable and it was all about myself and kind of traumas that I went through. And I met up with this girl through coffee, random once again, and she reached out to her publisher. She was a part of a co-branded book, meaning there's multiple authors in this book. And she reached out to her and said, hey, I don't know her story, but I just feel like she has something to share. So then the publisher reached out to me, and I didn't know the topic, but I said yes. Felt like God said, this is your opportunity. And then it was like a month later, she came up with her topic, Spirit of Survivors, and it was exactly what God told me to write about for the last 10 years.
Oh my goodness.
And I thought, all right, God, you're funny. I guess I have to now, right? And it came out, it was great. And then from there, it went on to a second. So we're about to have it's a CEO business book, female business book. I'm going to have an article in. And then the next one's going to be set up more like a devotional. Mm-hmm. And then God made it so clear to me, my next steps will be children's books.
All right, let's talk about the children's books. What do you hope to, what kind of messages are you hoping to expound on?
Yes, inspiration, courage, lack of fear. So like, here's just a quick example would be something like, you get an idea. Everyone just gets ideas, whether they're in the middle of the night or whatever, an idea. And if you go out and you go tell everyone else about this idea enough, so many people are not going to believe in your idea or believe in your ability or that it could even happen. It's happened to me over and over again, that they're going to squash the idea and then you're going to push it down and be like, okay, maybe I'm not capable. But if you were to nurture this idea or let it grow, then the idea could become something big and then you could become a world changer. Hence the books and this and just these things that I can see now that God's been working in my life, my whole life so far.
Well, I applaud you for being obedient because I think that God speaks to all of us, and sometimes we say, hey, God, I know you want me to go right, but I'm going left.
That's the hardest thing. Yes,
right?
It's hard. Yeah.
So in the last 2 or 3 minutes, I want you to look into the camera and talk to the person at home who's struggling. They're going through some stuff. They're not sure that they're doing what they were put on the planet to do. What words of encouragement would you like to give to those people?
My word of encouragement to you would be, no matter what your age is, it's never too late to start something new. In fact, it's too late to just stay where you currently are and to not try it. You have nothing to lose to try something new and to actually go after your dreams and go after what you think you were designed to do or what's going to give you hope and happiness and make you feel like your time here on earth has meant something. You have everything to lose to stay exactly where you are doing nothing. And that's just how I personally feel about it. So go for it. What are you going to lose? It doesn't work out, you go back to what you were already good at or what you maybe don't love, but you can do. Okay, but I personally think by you not going out and trying it and having the courage and being fearless to try is where a lot of people get stuck. And so nothing ever happens. But what if you trying is what completely changed the trajectory of not just your life, but your kids' lives and future generations and does something good in the world and you become a world changer yourself.
Wow, that's a mic drop moment. Way to go. We're going to end with our website, which is worldchangers.co. The great Arinn Lovett. Thank you for coming on the show.
I appreciate it, Jeff. Thank you so much.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.